question is, we're going to be quick. The question is that, the Honourable Dr. Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, I'm delighted to be making a contribution on the South Taranaki District Cold Creek Rural Water Supply Bill, and want to begin by complimenting the work of Chester Burrows, the member for Wanganui, who has not just championed this bill but been such an effective advocate for a very large electorate. Well, he's such an effective member. I'd love to compare how many votes Chester Burrows got in Wanganui as compared with the member Andrew Williams. Could Matty Barry remind me how many? The fifth lowest polling candidate in North Shore, as compared with the sponsor of this bill, of which I'm not surprised, got not just 1,000 votes, more than what Andrew Williams got, not 10,000 votes. Well, the member interjects, what's it got to do with it? Well, it's actually got quite a lot to do with it. It's to do with your mandate to speak for your communities, and Chester Burrows has a very strong mandate to talk for his Wanganui electorate, because not only is he a damn good minister, he's actually an excellent advocate for that very large electorate. And what this bill shows is that not just Chester Burrows being an effective advocate for the city of Wanganui, but he actually goes the hard yards for those smaller rural communities that are part of his electorate and the community that is going to benefit from this bill. You see, this bill oozes common sense. Oozes common sense. And I think every member of this House would know that if there is a member that champions common sense, it's Chester Burrows and what is in this bill. What this bill enables to do is 162 members of the Cold Creek Rural Water Supply to be able to run their scheme as a cooperative. Now, who in this House would oppose a bunch of 160 property owners who want to be able to get on and run their own water supply? Mr Speaker, in my own electorate, I've got lots of these water supply schemes, and they run very effectively because, Mr Speaker, Andrew Little, who's interjected a number of times, is sort of ideologically opposed to New Zealanders doing stuff for themselves. He hates it. He wants people to be dependent. He can't stand the idea that people might be able to do things for themselves and have a water scheme that provides their community with a good supply of water that's run by their own community. What's interesting on this bill, as so many other things, is the ideological split within the Labour Party. You see, you had Annette King make a very sensible contribution, who said in a very pragmatic, common sense way, if the people of this community want to run their own water scheme, that's a good thing, and providing there are proper checks in the bill, she's prepared to support it. On the other hand, you've got Andrew Little representing the hard left of the Labour Party that hates people doing things for themselves, that indicates by his interjections that he's opposed to this bill, and all members on this side of the House say, here we go again, the Labour Party all over the place, as they have been all this year, not able to resolve their own ideological rifts within the Labour Party, and we have no idea where we stand. What we do have, though, is concerning opposition from the Green Party to this bill. And I'm, Mr Speaker, not surprised by that. You see, the Green Party are such opposed to any bill that represents pragmatic common sense. They will always find a reason to get in the way of New Zealanders being able to do their own things. You see, it's interesting in respect of what I call the ideological ratchet that the Labour Party and the Green Party so often operate. If a council wants to buy a water scheme, they say, oh, that's good. They should be allowed to do that. But if a council wants to divest a water scheme, they say, oh, you can't do that. Now, that's right. My colleague from Napier says you then get into sort of an ideological rant around asset sales. Well, actually, this is one where a community has said, hey, we've got a water scheme. The people who run it and use it on a daily basis would like to run it for themselves. The local council says, we think that's a good idea. We've even put a protection in Chester Borough's bill that requires there to be a referendum amongst the local people, the only people that are affected by this bill, a referendum to say whether to do that. And now Andrew Little and Eugene Sage say we're going to stop and oppose communities making that decision for themselves. The arrogance of those parties. And you know what it really illustrates? It illustrates the huge risk to common sense if this country ever faces a Labour Green government. Because every member on this side of the House knows that the sort of ideological, hard left idealism of the Labour Party is always going to trump and is going to get in the way of communities like in the Cold Creek being able to get on and run their own water scheme. That's what's going to happen, and this little bill actually exposes the risk to common sense that there would ever be in the event that Labour and the Greens were to form a government. Mr. Speaker, it's extraordinary. I want to just follow through Eugenie's argument. It goes this way. Because the government provided a subsidy many years ago to provide good quality water in this community, as they did all over New Zealand, then the referendum on the future of this Cold Creek rural scheme should be over all the people who contributed. Well, let's just test that at a sort of a practical level. So that means you've got to have a referendum over 4.5 million New Zealanders as to whether the Cold Creek rural water supply of 162 people are able to get on and run their own scheme. Well, it would actually cost about $3 million to have a referendum over a scheme that's not worth that much. But that's the sort of ideological nonsense that you get from the Green Party. That's where they're not allowed to have the sort of common sense that Chester Burrows advocates overruled. Now, the leader from the Green Party, Mature Ture, is questioning that. That's exactly the ideological view we got at the Select Committee from the Green Party. That everybody who contributed, which is taxpayers, to the scheme should get a say in the future of it, and who in their right mind would spend over $3 million on a referendum of which most New Zealanders would say, look, if the local people want to get on and do this, why would Parliament get in their way? Why would we object to the local people running their local water scheme as a cooperative? Well, I say to Mr. Andrew Williams, who's interjecting, what has he got against the people of South Taranaki? 162 people, all they're asking Parliament to do is let them run their own local water supply. They're not asking for a single dollar of subsidy from the local ratepayers in running the scheme. They're not. Well, the member Andrew Williams interjects and says, well, they've already got it. Well, actually, the governments throughout New Zealand provided subsidies for setting up water schemes. That was part of actually improving the clean water supply for communities. And I think that's a good thing. We're a practical party of environmentalists over here. We think we're providing subsidies right now as a government to provide for cleaning up lakes. We're actually spending more money than any government.
Point of order, Andrew Williams.
Point of order. I was waiting for you to pick up the Honourable Nick Smith, but he referred to another member and referred that member as being me. And it was quite incorrect. He said it was Andrew Williams when it was actually Andrew Little. And I don't like to have my name used in that manner incorrectly, Mr. Speaker.
I'm sure that was a genuine mistake, but the member will be alerted.
Mr. Speaker, I want to assure you it was not in any way a mistake. The Andrews, both Williams and Little, have interjected during my speech, indicating their opposition to this bill, and I'm challenging both of them and saying, why are you opposed to common sense? Why are you opposed to the people of South Taranaki being able to run their little water scheme, as occurs in so many parts of rural New Zealand, on an efficient local basis. The truth is, they are members for bureaucracy. They are members for extra costs. They are members that actually have no regard for New Zealanders being able to get on and run their own little water supply for their communities. Members on this side of the House say that's sensible. We say it occurs all over New Zealand, and we should give that opportunity to the people of South Taranaki who use the Cold Creek Rural Water Supply Scheme, and we support them. We support them doing that. And actually, the member Andrew Williams interjects, and I says to him, actually, if there are members in other communities that would like to get on and run their local water scheme in a cooperative way such as this,
Order.
that is something that members on this side of the House would be happy to support.
Grant Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it rich to hear Nick Smith lecture this House on giving communities the chance to run their own